And we are live. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Coach Gerald Lami podcast. I'll be bringing you content with some of the best sport personalities around the world, sharing their journey with the listeners and inspiring the next generation. Without further ado, I'd like to introduce my special guest for today, Coach Hayden Jose. Welcome, Hayden. Thank you very much for your time today.
Yeah, thank you, Gerald. Thanks for the invite. It's my pleasure to be part of this, and I'm excited to share the story, my journey so far. Once again, thank you so much.
No problem. Before we start,
Yeah,
I just want to get into your coaching experience and your upbringing as a youth. So if we can just maybe touch first on your youth upbringing.
okay, so my journey started with in field of coaching 3 years back when I was just 21 years old. When I was 20, I realized that for me as technically it's very tough to become a professional footballer. I
Mhm.
wanted to accept myself that I'm not gonna reach one in the top level, but the passion for the game always wanted me to force me to stay with a beautiful game. So I decided to start getting coaching licenses. So I think when I was 22, I got my first license done from India itself. It's called AFFD license, the basic professional license what we need to work as a coach here in India. And
Okay.
the biggest motivation came after I topped the course. I was the topper, and it gives me a lot of motivation. Like yes, I can do this. And that was the moment. That was the moment I took the profession seriously. The first big call came for me when I was working for Game Day Academy. That was my first club, first academy. Just 3 months into my first job, one day morning I was chilling inside my house, and I got a call, and it was from Barcelona Academy. So
Okay.
basically it was Barcelona was starting a new project in Bangalore, India, and they were looking for full-time coaches and part-time coaches too. So all of a sudden, I'm just chilling. I got a call and saying, "Hey, this is from Barcelona Academy." I was like, "What? Seriously?" I thought someone is making fun of me. To be frank, I thought someone is making fun of me, and I said,
Yeah.
"Hey, tell me, man, who is this?" And he said, "Hey, this is Jashan. I'm the managing head of this project. We want you on board." And I was like, "Sure thing, sure thing." So for me, I was super happy that I got a call from them. At the same time, I'm new to a job where for just 4 months, for the academy, it's my first job. And for us,
Mhm.
it's like, the first job, first car, it's always special, isn't it? So
Sure.
for me, it was tough. Like, I was a bit now confused. Should I take this, or is it too early to go there? What will
Mhm.
be the quality of coaching? I was
Mhm.
thousands, lots of questions was going on my head, and I decided, okay,
Mhm.
let's go for a casual chat. And I went there. I liked the vibe. They spoke to me about how the academy is going to go. Then I thought, okay, this is a good thing. This is a good call, and it's a big opportunity for someone like me who's so young, who wants to learn more about the game, especially in academy level. And yeah, that's the basic thing, basic story about me.
That's interesting. Interesting. Thanks for sharing that. So what was the first thing that made you fall in love with football?
Sorry.
What was the first thing that made you fall in love with football? What what
uh
what drew you to the game?
yeah
Because
so
when you
yeah,
hear of India,
yeah, I know.
football is not the top of the pyramid.
True, true.
So what was that drew you into football itself?
To be really frank, I have to accept that I was just like another kid or another youngster in India who started
Hmm.
watching cricket. Everyone is a fan of Sachin Tendulkar, or
Hmm.
the legends of the game in India. But it started back in 2007 when I remember I
Okay.
was watching a TV, and I was watching a game. I think it was Holland. No, it was 2008, I think, Euro time. It was
Hmm.
Holland against Russia. So I saw one
Hmm.
goalkeeper. So it was Edwin van der Sar. So Edwin van der Sar,
Yes.
the goalkeeper, is making amazing save. Like, he's a top goalkeeper. We all know that. So I don't know. Instantly, I fall in love with him. I was like, oh, who's this guy? It's good. But in the end, I think they lost the game 3-1 against Russia. That was an upset at that
Yes.
time. Arshavin scored twice in the extra time, I believe. So that was the moment I started following football. So I remember I told my dad, hey, Dad, do you know this footballer? She's like, hey, Hayden, come on, let's watch cricket.
Yeah.
Who knows this? I'm like, no, 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 Dad, I like it. I like it. So I started playing football at that time. I told you I want to be a goalkeeper, only because of the guy. But I don't know. Like,
Mhm.
I do remember on his kit it written when they start. That's all I know. I don't know which club. I
Mhm.
don't know which academy or which country he plays for. Nothing. Absolutely no idea. Then
Mhm.
later, a newspaper article came in a local newspaper in India about the match, and I read that it's an upset for Holland that their goalkeeper Van Dessel plays for a big club called Man United. Then
Yep.
I was like, yes, I got it. So I told my dad, hey dad, I found the name of the club he plays for, Manchester United, and he's like,
Mhm.
Hayden, are you mad? What's the problem with you? He's like, no, dad, I want to watch football. That's it. It's like, okay, your thing. You can do whatever you want. And I remember I started switching TV, the channels every weekends, every weekdays to find out because I don't know what time the matches are happening. I'm pretty
Mhm.
sure 12 years back or 15 years back, the people follow Premier League that much like nowadays. Now everyone knows what's the timing. La Liga,
Yep.
Premier League, Juventus, they have everything, and every kid
Yep.
have a mobile phone, so it's easy to get all the details. That time was tough back like 12, 14 years back. It's very very difficult,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
I was switching the channels, and finally I spotted it. Manchester United was playing against Everton. I think when Tim Cahill was playing for the club, I guess that was the game. But the game, when I saw the face, I spotted it. I started screaming. I told my mom, "Mom, I found it! I found it! Yes, finally!"
Yeah.
And I watched the game. Unfortunately, that game Manchester United lost, and I felt something deep inside me, like
Mhm.
you. It's like you like someone and something bad happened to them, and you feel you know. Uh, not comfortable or
Yeah.
I don't know. In the end, I don't know what is Manchester United. I don't know what is the club. Even the club doesn't know the fans around. You hate that Manchester
Yeah.
United.
Yeah.
There is a guy called Hayden watching a game in India,
Yeah.
but I don't know. So I fall in love with the game. Next week, almost the same time, I started searching the channels and I got the timings. Usually it happens at evening 6 o'clock to night 10, 12 o'clock. So yeah,
Okay.
that's how I started following football.
Oh, nice, nice. So, in terms of your upbringing as a youth, so you're obviously from India, but India is a it's a huge country.
Hmm.
Where exactly was you born?
I was born in Kerala, the
Okay.
southern part of India. So
Mm-hmm.
if we talk about Kerala, it's often called as God's own country.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I would say Kerala is one of the rare places where football is crazy. When the
Mm-hmm.
World Cup is happening, we
Yeah.
have screenings in every street. You should come here one day, man. You
I,
would
I,
never
I want
believe.
to.
Yeah,
I
yeah, you
want
should
to.
come because
I've heard good stuff. I've heard good stuff about Kerala. Here in Oman, obviously, I'm sure you know there's a huge Indian community, and
yeah, yeah,
they always mention to say to go and visit Kerala. So I
yeah.
must one day. Visit.
Yes, so the thing is that it's crazy. You don't believe it, especially a foreigner comes here in India, and if you see the love for the game, love for the beautiful game of football, you'll never
Mm.
believe this is India because it's just like Europe. Maybe the culture is different.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
there will be no chanting or something like that. But
Mm-hmm.
when we score a goal, people are screaming like if you scream from here, the neighbors from 10 houses far can hear it because that crazy we are. It doesn't matter, and especially the Champions League matches happening here at night, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. So imagine you woke up till
Yeah.
till 1 o'clock in the early morning and you're watching football and
Yeah.
screaming. Yeah, sometimes I do remember when Manchester United was playing, I think against Wolfsburg when they crashed out in the group stage of Champions League 2 seasons back. Uh, I said something back. I was screaming because I was so frustrated. And my neighbor
Yeah.
came up and said, knock on the door. Hey, sorry, is there any problem to my dad? So my dad said, no, 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 it's my kid who's watching the football. Don't worry about that. But
Mhm.
but
Yeah.
the best thing is that now if I go to my city, if I go to my hometown, and people know if I'm at home because any match at night they could hear me. Still, even still,
Mm.
it never changes. It's simple. It doesn't matter you're a coach or a player or a fan. The love for the game is the
Mm.
basic thing which keeps you moving every day. And the same with me. So coming back to Kerala and the passion and the love for the game, it's unbelievable. I would say in India, Kerala and Kolkata is the most famous, which is in case of following football, the
Mhm.
culture, everything. But nowadays it's getting better. A lot of, especially after a new league born, Indian Super League, almost 6 years back.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now it becomes a popular sport. Just like cricket. I believe it's toe to toe now. Even though cricket has big huge advantage,
Mm.
it's like a national sport. Even though it's not a national sport, people
Mm.
are in the other part, north and all, is still crazy about cricket. And yeah, but it's getting better here. It's getting better here in India.
No, definitely. I've definitely been up to date with the league as well, and you can see the influx of the legends of football that are going over there. Even though it's a bit questionable. I know they're going there for a payday, but it still gives that sort of visibility to the league when
Yeah,
you have these sort of characters and legends going to play.
true, true.
But hearing you speak, I've heard you speak about your father,
Yeah.
and from the sounds of, he seems like he supports you in what you're doing. How was telling your parents that you want to get into football and you want to pursue this as a full-time career? Was there any challenges when you did mention this to them?
So it's a big story. I think you have to give me some time to talk about this. To be frank,
No, no worries. We've got
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's
all
just,
the
the thing is that when I was once I completed +2, like higher studies, not the graduation. Like, I don't know what you call in England, like +2, what we say here. 12th grade.
okay.
Yeah, 12th grade. Yeah, 12th grade.
Yeah,
So
okay, yeah, yeah.
once I finished 12th grade, uh, there is a famous college in Thrissur, in my local city where I born, called St. Thomas College, which is very, very famous
Mhm.
for football. So I remember I went there for the trials to get the seats through sports quota, because the marks were not good enough. Even though I got a decent marks in 12th grade, it was not good enough to get
Yeah.
there, because it's a very famous college for studies, arts, sports, everything. Uh, so I went for an open trials. Basically, if you go for open trials in Kerala, 500, 600, 700 show up. It's basically
Wow.
anyone
Yeah.
who likes the game can just come and play. So when I
Mm.
went there, there was around 20, 25 goalkeepers. So basically a goalkeeper. So there was,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. So there was around 25 goalkeepers, and the first time I saw them, they are 6'2", 70, 75
Yeah.
pounds, and they look like, and the first instant they look like a professional goalkeeper, and
Yeah.
and then there is me, who is standing in between them, who is 5'8" or 5'9", and very skinny guy,
Mhm.
and people might be like, why is he here? Then for me, like, okay, let's give it a try. Anyway, you're there, it's just 2 kilometers, 2 miles far from your house. Then you go for the trials, and I went there. Fortunately, I got through. I don't know how. I still remember my coach told me, Hayden, the performance you showed up in the trials, you have never done this after in your career. So I don't know. In the trials, I've given my everything. I've given my everything to get the seats there, because it means a lot for me, and to be
Mhm.
to be part of a big college in Kerala, to study in a big college. It was a big thing. So yeah, after one years, 1.5 years, the turnover comes up. To be frank, uh, I left the college. I left the college. I hope I can open up in this podcast about everything.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Please
yeah,
do.
yeah.
Please
So
do. I'm sure
yeah,
a lot
I
of
would say,
people.
yeah, I would say I almost got expelled. Uh,
Mhm.
it's not a good thing as a coach. Now I want to talk to the people around me, or to
Mhm.
the kids who trains with me. Uh,
Mhm.
you know, so after 1.5 years, I never got a chance to play for my college team. Not even one game. I was warming the bench for 1 year, 1.5 years, and I felt so bad. And I told them, I'm leaving. I don't want to stay, because the reason why I wanted to be part of this college is to play for the college, to represent this big college, and it's not happening. So I don't want to do this. And they reacted pretty aggressively to that. They said, Hayden, if you don't want to be uh, part of the training, part of the team, then we will take you out of the college. And I was like, no, no, but I spent 1.5 years here. How could you say that? So it's like, no, no,
Mhm.
Hayden, you got the seats through sports quota, and this is what we have to do if you don't want to stay. And I told them, I think I have to go. I'm leaving. So even though if I stay there and never trains with the team, I would now get expelled from the college. It's better to leave your seats, rather than someone
Hmm.
comes to you, hey, Hayden, get out of here. So I left the college. I left the college, and uh, that 1.5 years means a lot for me. As a footballer, as a person, and you are in one of the best colleges in the city, in our state, and you are leaving the college for you know my parents were so disappointed. They told me, Hayden, it was your decision. It was your decision to go to this college, get a seat to the sports quota. It was your call, and now you have to listen to me. Now you have to listen to your parents. And I felt, yeah, fair enough, because I know that once I finished the 12th grade, they keep saying, Hayden, you should go for some professional degrees, maybe engineering or medical field. I told them, no, I can't imagine myself working, sitting inside the office, working for 10, 15 hours in front of the laptop, getting some euros. I don't want that. I don't want that. That was back in, I remember when I was like 13, 14 years old. I used to tell my dad and mom, mom, don't think that I'll be making proud of you by working in some big IT field. Don't
Hmm.
ever. So, and they always tell me, Hayden, you are saying this only because you are 13 years old. After 1 year, 14 years old. So it keeps going and going, going. And even when I was 20, 21, was the same. Yeah, they were saying, Hayden, you are not mature yet. That's why you're saying you want to choose a profession like football, which is not really professional here in India. And yeah, so I left the college after 1.5 years. I was doing
Hmm.
bachelor's degree in physics. I still like that. I would say that was the best time in my life so far, apart from football or coaching. And yeah, after that, my parents, like my parents told me, I decided to go for engineering. And I remember
Hmm.
we are sitting for a dinner. Uh, so basically, right, very next day, I got kicked out from the college, or you can say that I left the college. I told my mom, "Hey, mom, now I'm gonna do what you told me. 2 years back. I'm gonna go for engineering. Let's see how it's gonna go." So my mom thought, okay, it will take time. He'll take some break. No, no, no. I wasn't ready. I don't want to waste some time, especially when I was
Yeah.
like 18 years old, 19 years old. I told my mom, hey, tomorrow I'm going to one college, and I'll start going to new college after 1 week. And she was like, Hayden, why so quick? Take your time. No, no, no. I don't want to take time. Let's do this. And finally, if someone asked me, Hayden, what is the one thing you never wanted to do in life? I would say, hey, I never wanted to do a degree in mechanical engineering or engineering field. And I did that for 4 years, man. 4 years.
Wow.
I studied. I spent time for something I never wanted to do. Those 4 years, I would say, was like 40 years for me. And
There's
it's
a lot
really,
of people that have been in that position as well. So don't
yeah,
really fault yourself, as there's loads of people in the world that have been in that position, and I'm sure a lot of people can empathize with you and understand what you're going through. So
yeah, yeah. When I say this, it's easy for a lot of youngsters to relate to the same scenario, because even
mm,
nowadays we have seen a lot of youngsters are full leaving their passion just to make their parents happy. Later in their life, they
mm,
regret my decision. So uh, the same was for me. I want to make my parents happy. We could say that I never wanted to disappoint them again. After I made a choice, I disappointed them, and not again.
mm,
So those 4 years was for 4 years, and there was no football team. There is not much people who follows football.
mm,
Everything was studies, studies, and studies. And in the end, basically, I was the bad guy in the college. Only because my priority was sports. I always stood up for sports. And the college never wanted to do, wanted, no, they never wanted to help me or cooperate with me. They say, Hayden, this is a professional degree college. Here, no sports. You need to focus on your studies. And yeah, those 4 years was like hell. That's the least they can relate it to. And
mm.
after when I was in third year, so the turning point in my career came when I was in my bachelor degrees in mechanical engineering in the third year. Um, at the same time, I was playing for a club called Etihad Sandus in Kochi.
Okay,
So Kochi is an advanced city in Kerala, or in India, you can say.
okay,
Like we say Bangalore, Mumbai, Delhi. Kochi
okay.
is one of the advanced cities. So I was playing for a super division side there called Etihad Sandus. Um, One day after the training session go over, my coach came to me just casually. He told me, Hayden, you see this under 10 batch? their coach is not here yet. He got stuck in traffic. So
Hmm.
can you do the warm up? Can you help them for like 5 10 minutes? And I was like,
So you
yeah,
got
why
thrown
not?
into the deep end.
Yeah. So I was like, yeah, let's do this. Let's do this. No problem. Why not? Just 5 10 minutes. I would say that was a turning point. You know why? That after 10 minutes, I walked with him. I could see each and every kid smiles. I could see the smile
Mm.
in the face of each and every kid, and I felt deep inside my heart, oh come on, man, this is what I want to do, because we are
You
living in
was
a world.
fulfilled in that moment.
Sorry.
You was fulfilled in that moment. That was your moment.
Yeah. So uh, that was the moment, and I felt, this is what I want to do, because we are living in a world where it's people hate each other. There is no love. We are complaining about each other, and just 10
Mm.
minutes you could see the 20 25 kids are smiling at you. They're laughing. They say they call the coach, but I'm not a coach. That was the moment I decided, okay, let's go for a license. Maybe this is the turning point in my life. And
Mm.
I came back to my house and I told my mom, hey mom, I think I'm gonna do my coaching license after this year. So they said, why? No, what license do you want to do? So I told them, this is football. This is football. And they said the same thing again. Hey, then you want to go back to the same situation? Are you kidding me? So I told them, no, mom, trust me. Today I explained them detailed about what happened today after the training session. Basically just 10 minutes with the kids, and
Yep.
she could see what how much it meant to me, from my eyes. She told me, Hayden, okay, how much it costs? So it's very cheap. Okay, well, I'm ready to pay for it, but focus on your studies.
Mhm.
I was like, okay, no problem, fair enough. I'll focus on my studies. I did my first coaching license in the fourth year, and that was the moment, like I told you, I was the topper in the batch in the license, and it gives me a lot of motivation. That was the moment I believed
Mhm.
myself. I thought, okay, now I think I can do this. This is what I want to do. I wanted to stay in this game, and everything goes well. Right after I completed my degree from in mechanical engineering, I remember I told my mom, I'm leaving to Bangalore. So Bangalore is basically, I would say that the football is getting more professional, a lot of
Oh.
opportunity for coaches. It's entirely different from Kerala or other states, other
Mhm.
states in the country. So we can say the same about maybe Mumbai or Delhi, where they are a bit advanced in case of football, especially professional football. You can say the level of coaching, the infrastructure, everything. And she told me, Hayden, I spent a lot of money for you, for the studies, for your life, for your pleasure, everything. Uh, so basically, at that time, my dad was not in a good shape. He was financially was not in a really good shape. And my mom
Mhm.
told, say, don't ask for money to your dad. I know what is he going through. So either you can make a bit of money on your own, or otherwise, I'll give you some money. Once the money gets over, don't give me a call. Please come back to this home. And
Mhm.
that was really challenging. She gave me, I think, in pounds, I would say just 40 pounds. 40 pounds, yeah. I think
Okay.
1 pound is 40
Well,
rupees,
well,
80
yeah.
rupees, yeah. Just 40
Yeah.
pounds, and say, hey, Hayden, you go there. Once the monies get over, you come back. But the best thing was, there was a community called Soccer Fever. It's
Mhm.
basically a WhatsApp group, a group of people who's crazy about the football. So they are everywhere in the world. So they're in UK, they are in Oman, they are in Kerala, they are in Delhi, they're in Bangalore. And they told me,
Mhm.
hey, don't worry about the stay. There's one guy called Samru. So we call him Samru.
Okay.
His name is Samruddin. So he right now he's at UK. So he told me, Hayden, if you're coming to Bangalore, don't worry about the stay. You can stay in my apartment for as long as you can. No problem. Find a job and come on, man. So he was the one who was supporting me a lot at that time. And I remember I reached Bangalore. So this is basically after the very next day I finished the engineering degree in mechanical engineering. The very next day I left my house to get a job, because I badly wanted to stay in the game. I badly wanted to get a job because my family was not in good shape. I wanted to make my parents proud, and I went there. So I got interviews from four academies in Bangalore. So
Mhm.
basically, I for me, I like the game. I know the very basic level of coaching, but I don't know what is the pathway. How can you find a job? How can you approach the
Mhm.
academies? I don't know, because if it's IT or something, you just send your resume, and if you get a mail, you get a mail. If you get a call, you get a call. But in case of coaching, I don't know. Like we go
Mhm.
there, we do trials. I have no idea. But I just sent my CV. I got a call from all four of them, and I went to all four, and all the four academies gave me a position at their academy.
Wow.
Uh, so yeah, in the very first time, for CV, for call, for sessions, and I got through everywhere. So that was the moment I feel so happy. I called my mom, hey, mom, all the academies where I run my dressing, run my footballing session, they liked it. I got the offer letter. I just wanted to ask you which one is going to suit you. I could say she. I know. I think she was crying at the time. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
The way she was talking to me, she says like,
Yeah.
okay, Hayden, I'll call you back. I was like, she was dramatic. I don't know, uh, and I'm not used to it. That was the moment I said to myself, Hayden, you are making yourself proud. You're making your parents proud.
Mm.
Let's do this. And finally, I decided to join the academy called Game Day Academy. So basically, Game Day Academy was an academy had in partnership with Rangers side, Scotland side Rangers FC. The current
Mm-hmm.
Junior
Yep.
Academy.
Yep.
So
Mm-hmm.
uh, I decided that their infrastructure was good, good facilities, good training grounds. I decided, okay, let's start from here, and it's not a bad place to start your career. At least you have the name on the CV that this academy have
Mm.
partnership with Rangers FC. So like I told, 3 months into the job, really good 3 months. First team, I was like assistant there. I was assisting Rayesh, a guy called Rayesh. I would say he was the guy who motivated me a lot in the beginning of the coaching, because you know
Mm.
when we say about professional coaching and here in India and outside India, it's a huge difference. Uh,
Mm.
Even if you come on the professional level, academy level, you could see the difference. So for me, even though I spent a 10 15 years as a player, the training sessions was nothing compared to the real football. You know,
Yep.
for me, I remember the funny thing is that if especially in Kerala, all the coaches, with all due respect to them, uh, when I was a player, the first thing they do, come to the field. Oh, Hayden, now run for 5 kilometers. Okay, but
Yeah.
I came to the field to play football, man, and they say
Yeah.
every
Yeah.
day the same thing. And after 5 kilometers, they go for intense workout. But we are dead already
Mm.
because we ran for 5 kilometers. It's very
Right.
tough.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is the kind of training session. This is the kind of methodology that is in my head. This is the only football
Mm.
training sessions I know. And when I saw the sessions, real sessions with Raish, uh, I was like, okay, this is football.
Mm.
I have zero idea about football coaching, because this is really coaching. And when he
Mm.
says, especially about the position games, 4v4+2 or 4v4+4, and
Mm.
I was like, what is he saying? Why is he saying numbers? He just need to give a
Yeah.
ball and tell them to run. you know,
Yeah. Yeah.
that was that was quite fun. And yeah, so I learned a lot under him. And for me, there was no technical director or like a head coach who's going to stay with you and going to help you every time. So I needed to study about the game myself. So obviously my first resource was internet. Thank you to my parents for help me to buy a new Android phone. So I could
Mhm.
just reach
Yeah.
out my phone and go through all the sessions, which is very easy nowadays, right? If you go to YouTube, if you go to any Google,
Yeah. Yeah.
just write the sessions and you get it. So in the beginning, I would say that was the same with me. I was just scoping the sessions, but later I realized that it doesn't make any sense. You are doing one v
Mm.
ones one day, next day you work on finishing, next day you work on heading. But what's the
Mhm.
point? How you know the players are developing? How you know the players are learning? So I was a bit confused. So this was the time I needed someone to guide me. To come and tell me, Hayden, hello,
Yep.
hello,
Hello. Can you hear me?
Gerald, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay, hello.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, no, good. So this was the time I believe that I need someone to guide me because I'm playing with the life of kids who is 6 years old, who's eight
Mm.
years old, who's 10 years old,
Yep.
and every day they are coming to me. Every day they are coming to the coaches with they hope that this coach can make me better. So there was a slight regret in deep inside my heart that am I really helping these kids, or it is just like playing football. I just come to the field, I
Mm.
work for 1 hour, and you go back home. that was the work. So
Mm.
luckily, after 4 months into the first job, like I told you, one day this was the biggest moment in my life. I was chilling inside my apartment in Bangalore. So thanks to my uncle, because I was staying with him after I got the job, and later he moved to a new apartment. So I got a really good apartment to stay, and there was some privacy for me. You know, there was no one to
Mhm.
make loud noises. You have your own space to work, to think, to chill, everything. So this was a very good morning, really good morning, and I was chilling. So usually my training sessions are in the evening. So finally, all of a sudden, in the morning, I got a call from a guy, and he said, "Hi, hi, Hayden." So I was like, "Hi, this is from Barcelona Academy," and I told him, "Hey, are you making fun of me? Tell me who
Yeah.
you are." Uh, and they were like, "Yeah, no, Hayden. See, this is Jashan. I'm from Mumbai. We are starting a new program in Bangalore, and we are looking for coaches to be part of us." And I was like, super happy at the time, bit confused, because I am the academy. The academy gave me a job with no experience. I was still waiting for my results of the coaching license, first coaching license, and they, if I leave, I had a bad feeling what the academy is gonna think about me, or is it a good
Mm.
thing? Is it the professional way to do it? But I later realized, okay, let's go for the interview. Let's have a coffee with the Barca people, and let's see how it's gonna go. But when I see the training, when I see the quality of the coaches, when I spoke to the head coaches, Jody Escobar, for me he was the uh, for me he was the like a dad for me in field of coaching, who helped me to learn everything about football. So I went there. I had a meeting. They told me to come one day and do a session. So I agreed. Okay, I'll come after next weekend, because I'm still part of another academy. I need to speak with him that I got a chance from Barca. I want to go there for trials, and yes, so things went not really in a good way, in a good shape, because when I told the academy, gave the academy that, see, I got an offer from Barca, I want to go there for the trials, they were disappointed. They said that, Hayden, we gave you an opportunity with no experience, with no license, and you are leaving after 3 months in an unprofessional way. Well, I asked them, see,
Mm.
if I want to quit, if I want to leave, I can just go and join there, isn't it? Because in India, there is no contract. I mean, unless you work for top professional like IS or Riley, there is
Mm.
no contract. So especially if you work with the academy. So if you want to leave one day, you can go straight away and go in the academy to go join the academy the very next day. So I told them I'll try, if it's good, if they making a good offer, let's see how it's gonna go. And the next weekend I went there. When I went for the trials, there were almost 11 coaches. Uh, the the start was the worst as I expected. You know, I
Mhm.
went there. Usually, how I used to run my session, like my appearance, is like a tracksuit, a jacket, and a sports shoes. So when I went for the
Mhm.
trials, the technical director, who is Jordi Escobar, who I admire a lot, he asked me, Hayden, where's your footballing stats? I told him, hello.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah. So I told him, usually this is how I used to run the sessions. This is my appearance. He said,
Yep.
no, you can't take a session like this. You must take boots and come next week. So I apologized to him. Hey,
Mhm.
sorry, give me a chance from next time. I'll make sure. And so the first impression was not so great, to be frank. And I still remember
Yep.
when I was about to go take the session, he's looking at me like he don't want me here anymore. And I was like a bit embarrassed. But the good thing is that I already have a job. There was not much pressure. It's like a hit and run. If you get it, you get it. Otherwise, you go back to your old academy. No problem at all. And
Mm.
he told me to do a goalkeeping session. So basically, I was a goalkeeper. So he told me, hey, Hayden, you want to do something related to the goalkeeping topic? I told, okay, let's work on footwork. So how it works in the Barca Academy for the trials, I don't know how it's in UK or any other European countries. How it used to
Mhm.
happen is that they'll give you 12 minutes. You have to take a session, and
Mhm.
that is all for you. So 12 minutes between a big contract, big chance, big opportunity, and going back to my old academy. So I remember I ran the session only 8 minutes. Only 8 minutes. Because I don't know, I felt so confident in the session. I stopped after 8 minutes, and
Mhm.
I got a really good smile from the technical director. Hayden, Hayden, I like that. And I was like, okay, now I think I got it. Because the start was not so big, the beginning was not so great. But he says the smiles he gave me was means a lot for me. I had a bad
Mm.
feeling, okay, this I got it. I got it for sure. And right after the interviews, sorry, all the sessions got over, 11 coaches, they called each and every one for the interview inside the room, and the Johnny told me, Hayden, we would like to take you on the board. uh, I don't know, man. I don't know how I can describe this moment. It means a lot for me because I've gone through all the bad things I've gone through. I
Mm.
disappointed my parents, I disappointed my family, uh, and this was the moment. I was thinking, okay, you're gonna tell someone that you're gonna be part of such a big club, such a huge club, or arguably one of the biggest club in the world. And
Mm.
that was an offer which I can't refuse. But at the same time, I was thinking about my old academy, how it's gonna go, how they're gonna react, everything. So there was a lot thousand things going on in my head. I told them, hey, please give me 1 week, let me have a chat with my old academy, and later we'll see how it's gonna go. um, I went back, I met the owner, and I told him, hey, I got a really good offer, professionally, as in career, financially, everything. I think I need to take it. And first, the initial reaction was not so great. Obviously, I can completely understand because they gave me opportunity with no experience.
Mm.
But I still have a huge respect to them, even though I don't know how they feel about me. Or if I go there one day to give a high five or to have a chat, I don't know how they're gonna treat me. But I still have a huge respect, and deep inside my heart, I believe, okay, I still have a thing, like maybe I should have stayed for more time, because I don't know. But later I realized it was purely emotional. Your
Yeah.
connection with the academy was purely emotional, because it's your first job, it's the first employees you're working with, it's your first team. But when I joined Barca, it was like watching a black and white movie for
Yeah.
15 years, then you watch a color movie, like
Yeah.
nowadays. It was unbelievable, the way of coaching. We have the coaching formations, everything. And it is unbelievable, man. And that's the small story. I know I took a lot of time to
No, no, no,
for
no.
this, but yeah. So yeah, that was my journey so far. Now, currently, so after 1.5 years at Bars Academy, right now I'm working. I came back to my city. So the idea
Mhm.
was simple. So basically, Bars Academy was a grassroots level academy. So after learned about the game, especially from a big brand for 1.5 years, I decided to come back. I had two choices: one, to go abroad and work, learn more to understand what is the difference between coaching. What is the environment, how is the methodology. It's different because in Barca we all know it's the methodology is taking care of the ball.
Yep.
Football for us, ball is like treasure. That's what my technical director used to tell me. It's like a treasure. If you lose a treasure, you have to
Mhm.
go get it back as soon as possible. But I want
Mhm.
to know, see, why. The reason is that I want to know how other clubs like Burnley, or we talk about Sheffield, who likes to play without the ball and they're winning the games and their coach is super happy. Because
Yeah.
for me it's difficult, right? You you believe that you can play the beautiful game of football only with the ball, but there on the other
Mm.
side, that there are teams who play matches, win games, and they're so super happy without the ball. The perfect example
Mhm.
is like the derby yesterday, right? Man
Yep.
City is having 80% possession on the ball. United go hit on a counter, they score 1-2, they win the game. So I always had a confusion. Okay, everyone said this is the best brand, playing with the ball is the best thing, but even the team who plays with the ball loses. So what is different? I wanted to know what is different. So I wanted to go to a different academies which has different philosophies, different methodology. Uh, Maybe like Burnley. I don't know if it's possible or not, but I wanted to know an academy which promotes. I know, even though everyone like promotes the game with the ball, but when it comes to a certain point, they have their differences between their methodology. Uh, Second option was coming back to my city, where football coaching is not so professional. Football coaching is not a in a top level. I wanted to come back and help the coaches, educate the coaches, and improve the level of the players in my
Mhm.
local city. That was the idea. Unfortunately, my first plan didn't work out. I tried in different academies abroad, but when you send your CV, and I have a bad feeling about this. I want you to talk about this, okay?
Hmm.
Because if you send a CV, someone from India, a random guy from India sending a CV to England or UK or wherever, and at the same time you get a CV from another player or another person, another coach with the same qualification in case of license. But if he's from Latin America, if he's from Europe, usually which one you would take? The instant feeling. I'm not generalizing.
Yeah,
I'm not.
yeah,
So yeah, that's the thing. So if you send for CV and when they see, oh, this guy from India, no, 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 no. I don't even know about football in India. They are still playing cricket, but they don't know
yeah.
how it changes here. So that is the biggest challenge. Even now, I would say that is the biggest challenge for me because your nationality plays a huge role for you when you apply for a job.
For sure, I agree with
Uh,
you. I agree.
yeah, yeah. So it's difficult, but it's okay. I'm ready to take the challenge. So I decided to go with the plan two. Coming back to Kerala, work with the coaches, educate the coaches, and help the players to make them ready for the top professional game. Yes, finally, I got an opportunity to part of a head coach of an academy called Wake Up Academy. It's in
Mhm.
Malappuram. So Malappuram is like I told you, Kerala is crazy about football. Malappuram is the mecca of it.
Okay.
If you go once you come down here and if you go for a local game here, so it's called seven side game. I'm sure that you have heard about it. So seven side game
Yeah,
is basically is like it's like watching a Hollywood action movie. Fights, goals, screamers.
yeah.
But in case of professional, no, nothing. You'll see the players are going to hit the referee. Referees are running to the next road and running for their life. It's different. It's very very different. But the people who's showing up to watch the game is around 10,000 here. Ten
Hmm.
thousand
Wow.
spectators for a 7 game, and the
Wow.
stands are made of wood, and floodlights are temporary floodlights. Ticket for just less than €1. It's
Hmm.
and you see a lot of people coming up. If you go to the other side of India, the part of India where even in the top professional sites, I don't want to mention the name, but you'll see only the spectators coming up, maybe 1,000 or 2,000. And then there is
Hmm.
Kerala, then there is Malappuram. For a 7 game, there is 10,000, 15,000 people show up. That's the
Wow.
maximum capacity. If we make it 25, I'm sure 25 will show up. 25,000 will show up.
Wow.
So
But
so that's how it is.
this is this is what people would love to hear in terms of people in Europe because
Yeah,
again, like I said, in terms of the nationalities, when people do hear
yeah,
of countries such as, for instance, the Middle East or India, they have a perspective on how life is and
yeah,
things like that. So when people actually do visit themselves,
yeah.
they see for themselves and think, you know what, it's not actually what the media tell us. So to
Exactly.
think there's 10,000 people coming to watch a seven-a-side match
Yeah,
is is mind blowing for people in Europe because there's clubs in League Two that some of them don't even have 10,000 to come or 5,000 to come and watch.
true,
A professional side play 11 aside. So
true.
hearing things like that is what it's about. For people to actually understand that the world is big. The world of football is huge, and there's so much different avenues and different places coaches can go to venture.
True.
So hearing your story, this is what it's about.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
hearing you speak, it, it
Hmm.
shows that you was dedicated. You was, well, you still are. You're dedicated to your coaching
Yeah,
job. You was persistent in uh, trying new things and coming out your comfort zone. Because how
yeah.
how old was you when you left home?
Uh, I think I left my home. I was like 20, even though it's not too far.
Yeah,
I was still in India, but I'm 20 years old, and
yeah,
now, yeah, yeah. So it's been almost
yeah,
4 years
it's
staying
still.
away from the family. Yeah,
Yeah, still, like this is something that I can relate to as well because I
yeah,
left home when I was early, and for me personally, I can 100% say it's challenging. It's always going to be challenging away from
yeah.
your comfort zone,
True.
but in terms of growing as a person, growing as a man,
Yeah,
growing into what you want to become and learning, that's the most important thing because you can leave home from young, but
yeah,
if you're not putting in work and you're not learning what you want to, what you want to achieve, and have that hunger and the drive,
True.
then it's pointless. But you're doing the
Completely.
work, and you continue doing the work. You've left home from early. You've taken the sacrifices. You've come out your comfort zone again, and that's what it's about. And I think it's important for the listeners or any up and coming coaches, wherever they may be, whether it will be in India or whether it will be in the Middle East or the UK or Europe.
True.
It's
True.
important to you know to to step out your comfort zone. And a lot of people like to stay within the surroundings and never really expand. But for me, that's something that I- I'm not comfortable with, because you're never going to grow. You're never going to see things in a different light. So for you, your journey so far, what you've said is, which I'm sure is going to continue, because again, you're driven, you're hungry for success. And for me, it doesn't matter where nationality you're from. Where you can be from the North Pole, it doesn't matter to me, as long as you've got the passion, you've got the drive, you've got, you're willing to learn about the game. And that's what really counts for me. you
Yeah.
know so what would you advise for any young up and coming coach coming up?
So especially for, doesn't matter, the coaches from India or anywhere in the world. If you, so this is one lesson I learned from my life. You know, if you want to do something in life, if you want to do something different in life, there will be people to stop from doing it. There will be people who's gonna say, "Hey, you can't do it. Hey, coach, this is not for you." But once you succeed in life, they would say, "Hayden, yeah, I knew that you will be doing in the future." So see, we are living in a kind of strange world. When we do something different, they say, they pull you back. They pull you back. But once you
Mm,
succeed, they say, "Hayden, I knew it that you're gonna do it." So this is
yeah.
the world. So don't go with your trust your instinct. If you badly want to do something in your life, go trust your instinct, do it. And I'm pretty sure life will bring you joy into your life and into your career. And what is the biggest feeling than waking up in the morning and you understand you are, or realize that you are doing something you like? What is the biggest
Mm,
feeling than that? There's absolutely nothing. I've seen
yeah.
a lot of people who's earning a lot of money, or thousands of pounds, and or they woke up and they feel like, oh, today I have to go to the office. For me, it's different. For me, even though in my off days I'll go to the field, I'll stay with the coaches, I'll have a chat with the players because I like it. Because for me, football means everything. Football coaching means everything. I want to learn. I have a huge desire. I wanted to be succeed in this field, and let's see what life brings in. And I'm sure if you put the effort for it, life will never back down. It will be on the right side if we give everything. So doesn't matter, boys. If anyone out there, doesn't matter you're a man or woman, whatever, keep pushing, keep pushing. You will get there one day.
No, that's powerful. That's powerful. Just to wrap it up, because
Yeah.
man, I'm sure we can speak all day about football and just the journeys. But what legacy or what impact do you want to leave within football and also in India as a community? Because I really believe, it's always important to give back to where you've come from.
Hmm.
Because a lot of people, they have a vision of, growing up and maybe, going around the world and doing different things.
Yeah.
But I do believe, it's important to, go away, to listen to different cultures or to interact with different cultures.
Hmm.
But what impact do you want to make in football, or within the Indian community as well, within
So
Indian football?
in the very basic level, my first objective or first dream is to improve the level of coaches, because like I explained to you, the level of coaching here in India, or we can say at least in Kerala, is pretty traditional. Like we say, the England football back in 1990s, long
Mm,
balls, running without the balls. Most of the games, most of the drills, most of the game is everything without the ball. So we need to educate the coaches that if we don't have a quality coaches, we can't produce quality players. Simple as that. So
mhm,
we need
mhm,
creative coaches who can help, who can build creative players. So for that, you need to step out of your comfort zone. You need to step out of your comfort zone to learn about the game. If you stay, if you unfortunately here in India, a lot of the academies, what they do, or the coaches, what is one thing which I don't like, is that once they play, like super division, or they play 7A side, once they are 30, they start their own academy. They take 25 players. they run
Mm.
sessions, and the players are not reaching any level because the quality of the coaching is not so good. But nowadays,
Mhm.
I'm happy that the All India Football Federation is helping the coaches to educate more, doing running more coaching education courses. Level one, level two, level three, everything. It's happening
Mhm.
almost in every month. So now I could see the difference. So to be frank, I believe and I see the young coaches are the one who's going to change Indian football. That's what I believe because they are the one
Mhm.
who's following, everything. They know about the game. They know what is going around the world, what is the culture, what is the training methodologies, what is the systems. They have more knowledge. With all due respect to the old coaches, I respect them because they set a standard, or they are the one. They are the reason why we fall in love with football. Maybe for most of us. So, but for a 60-year-old, for a 70-year-old, it's not quite like in Europe. We have seen a coach who is 65, 70, who is managing the top division game. Like a lot
Mhm.
of coaches, Hodgson, a lot of coaches. But here it's
Yeah.
tough. So I believe in India, next generation. So to improve the next generation, the current youngsters are the future. For me, they are the
Mhm.
future. Now, if I go to any youth academy, if I go anywhere, I could see the difference because nowadays the academies are hiring young coaches who is 20 years old, 25 years old, 26 years old. So the culture is changing. The culture is changing because if they learn about the game from the very young age, imagine after 10, 15 years. So they can make huge difference for the footballing culture here in India. So for me as a
Yeah.
coach, this is simple. Whatever I learned from like a bit like a biggest club, arguably the biggest club like FC Barcelona Academy,
Mhm.
pass the knowledge. I have seen the coaches once they learn, they keep it with us. They
Mhm.
never want to share. So
You
I
want to
respect
share?
that.
Yeah.
If they don't want to share, okay, fair enough, no problem. But the problem is that if you do that, you never improve. People don't understand
Yeah.
that. I remember when I was working with game day, and later I did one session which I thought unbelievable or top class. At the same when I did under Jordi at Barcelona, Jordi said, Hayden, this is not good enough. That is the time.
Mm.
That is the time you realize, okay, as a coach also we understand, especially when you work independently, or you take 10 kids and you train, you have no one to observe you. You have no one to
Mm.
to see things what you're doing.
To be
So the
feedback
problem with that,
for
the
you.
problem, yeah, the problem with that, we don't know. So whatever work we do as a coaches, we believe it's really good, right? If you go to a session, we set up the cones, we kept the polls on the goals, everything ready. 1 hour forward, 2 hour session, and come back. We believe, oh, this was the perfect session. But I want
Mm.
someone. So most of the time, the people who are seeing it, maybe the parents, maybe the other coaches would come and tell you, hey Hayden, this was a great session. Okay, I feel good. But I would be more happy if someone comes to me and say, Hayden, I think this thing you what you've done, you could have done much better in this aspect. So I'll be more happy to see that. Unfortunately, people or the some of the young coaches don't like that criticism. When someone comes and tell them, oh, they feel they are humiliated, or it's not a good thing to do.
Mm.
But for me, no. For
Mm.
me, if Gerald, if you come over here and if you watch my session and you tell me, Hayden, this is, I believe that you need to change. The way, maybe the way to communicate, maybe the way you're educating the kids, anything. It could be anything. I'll respect the person. It's better than someone who comes to you and say, "Yeah, unbelievable session." Everyone can say that, and I'm not a big fan of it. So as a youngster, as a young coaches, we need to change the mentality too. Open for more learning. If someone comes tell you this is not right, or this you need to change, you need to think yourself, okay, does not make any sense. Yes, if you think yes, you change it. Otherwise, no problem.
Mm.
In the end,
Mm.
every coach is different, right? I'm different. Gerald is different, or Mourinho is different. But Guardiola is different. If someone like someone who played in Burnley, any player goes to Pep Guardiola and say, "Hey, we don't need to play with the ball. Let's play without the ball." What Pep Guardiola would say? Yeah, it's just like the same. In the end,
Yeah.
we have in the end we have our own style. We believe in some kind of football. Yeah, maybe with the ball, maybe
Mhm.
without the ball, maybe offensive game, maybe defensive game, maybe more focused in transition. It could be anything. But the most important thing is that you have an idea as a coach. You are doing, or whatever you are doing for the kids, for the young players, is whatever you're educating them is 100% perfect. Because if you teach them 90% correct, 10% wrong, when that player becomes a coach in later future, he will make 20% mistake. So when the generation
Mm.
goes on, it's not going to help us. So for me, as I believe as a coach, it's better always go to the field fully prepared, taking, spending more time for your sessions, learn the sessions, ask yourself what is the questions the player is going to ask you. You should be ready, because if you're ready, then you have no worries, right? I have seen. So,
Mm.
so this is one thing I would like to add. Especially if anyone from Europe is hearing this. Uh, I have seen, especially in India, I've seen outside too. Some coaches go to the field and they don't know what they're gonna work for
Mm.
today's training session, and they took a paper, they write something, and they take the session. But this is one thing which, as a coaches, we need to avoid. I believe this is. I
Mm.
know
I agree.
someone would respect that. Someone would say no, no, no. We just need 2 minutes to make session, because I have seen it. Even when I started at Barca, even though we get the curriculum from Barcelona, the technical director gives it to me. I remember the first 1 or 2 months, I used to spend just 10 minutes to learn the session. But just 10, 15 minutes maximum. And you believe, okay, you know everything. And when you go to the field, you believe, you started questioning yourself, hey, Hayden, now what if, so the session might be for 10 plays, what if 12 comes? What if 14 comes? Okay, now what if you get odd numbers? What are you going to do? So I started asking myself, later when I went to the third month or fourth month with Barca, especially after 6 months, I would say I used to spend more than 1 hour, 1.5 hour for one training session. So that
Mm.
is it. So that the more you committed, the more you want to learn, the more you want to, more desire you have to improve yourself, improve the youngsters, improve the coaches. Good for you. So in the end, the time you're spending is only for you. We don't want to give the knowledge to everyone.
Mm.
Like, simple as that. So if you, it's up to you. If you wanna, in the end, it's up to the coaches where they want to be. For me, if so, nowadays, okay, now most of my friends, most of the people in my city recognize me as a, he worked for Barca. That, but for me now it's done. I want to go further. I want to go progress more. Barca is done. This is a new challenge. Now more, because my aim is not just this. The day I get an offer to be part of the national team India, that is my short dream. And till that, I'm not gonna stop. And let's see what how it's gonna go.
Wow, man. Hayden, it was a pleasure, man. And just from hearing you speak, and I can feel the passion and the energy that you have towards football, and not just for the love of the game, but the way you want to share your knowledge as well in
Yeah,
terms of spreading it across, your community. And for me, that is the beauty of football, sharing your experiences. And I'm sure, with the drive and hunger that you have at the moment, I'm sure you're going to reach the levels that you aspire to be.
yeah, that's
And
fine.
I'm sure this chat as well is going to resonate with a lot of people, and even inspire a lot of young coaches coming up,
Hmm.
to take the initiative, and go for what they believe and go for what they want. So
Yeah,
again, really appreciate your time. Thank you, Hayden.
yeah. Thank you so
Um,
much. Thank you so much, Gerald,
and
for the invite.
I'm looking forward to India making the World Cup one day, because I'm sure that's gonna shock the whole world in terms
Yeah,
of
yeah.
the atmosphere and the energy that the Indian fans will bring.
Yeah, thanks so much, man. It's been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure to talk about the football, share your knowledge, share your experience. So I hope at least, out of 1,000 people, if one listen to the full podcast, and if you believe, okay, the coaches actually goes through the struggle, I'm happy. If I can influence one person, it's okay. I'm happy with the one person. So rest of all, no problem. So once again, thank you
No,
so much, Joel. It's been a pleasure,
no, thank you,
and
thank
I'm looking forward to see you. Maybe if you come down to India, Kerala, yeah, let's work together for
you. You
some time.
sure will. You sure will. You'll definitely see me one day over there for
Yeah,
hundred
yeah, yeah.
percent.
Yeah, sure thing, sure thing. I'll give you a chance to. You come to my academy, work with the kids. Why not?
Perfect, perfect, perfect. Thank you, Hayden. Thank you.
Thank you.